Disconnect from your mama. Disconnect from your father.
All right.
Disconnect from the drama. Disconnect from me. Disconnect from your father. Disconnect from your mama. Disconnect from the drama. Disconnect from me.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
wow.
We are hello. We are the Sausage Boys. I'm your host, Jackson.
What's good? It's your boy K Dot.
We've got K Dot over here. How you been, K Dot?
Yeah, I mean decent.
Very good. Very good. And over to my right, we have
We've got the man of the
Big.
evening.
Hey guys, it's Big.
Hey Big, how you
Yeah, what's
doing,
good,
man?
Big?
Same as last week.
Nice, man.
Yeah,
nice.
legendary.
Behind the desk today we have Noah. How you doing, Noah?
Hey guys, it's Noah.
How you doing, man?
Better than last week.
Man.
Oh, that's
I'm
good.
doing
We're
better
evening
than
it out a
last
little
week.
bit.
Yeah, we're really evening it out. I'm doing about the same as last week. Oh, I'm doing pretty good, actually.
I'm doing pretty decent. I'm kind of pumped for this bad boy.
I'm pumped as well. Week 2. We're on to it. The verdicts are in from last week.
Major success.
We are...
Major success.
Yeah, it's doing well. So it's going all right. Yeah.
This is literally episode number 2.
And it feels good, man. It feels good. Bro, I swear to God, we were being so funny before we started rolling.
You're doing like a full-on stand-up routine.
Yeah. All right. What's been happening? What's new? What's new in K-Dot's world?
Man, I was just driving here. I know Australians are so funny about the whole giving someone a signal if they don't have their lights on, their headlights on.
You didn't have your headlights on?
No, the car next to me.
Oh, okay.
But I know
What?
that that's like a real thing that someone's like goes out of their way to make sure the other person knows to turn on their lights.
Like you could be literally wearing a clan suit, look over the person next to you.
Yeah.
No matter their race.
Yeah, no matter who you are, I'd be like, hey, your lights.
Your lights.
Yeah.
That's a good thing about lights. Like it really unites people.
I literally thought about. Have you seen the new Russell Crowe movie?
No.
Where it's like this raging driver, and the whole point of the movie is he's like in this car.
Yeah.
And I think this lady and her son
Have
cut
their
him
headlights
off.
off.
That was the idea. But I think she cuts him off, and then she doesn't apologize for beeping too loud, and then he follows her and basically tries to kill them both.
Sounds like a great movie.
And I was thinking, what if that was the case, but he's driving really irrationally and aggressively just to let her know you don't have your headlights on and it's dark.
That's like that bit with the guy from Workaholics and he's running on the treadmill. You know the one? What's the...
I never watched Workaholics.
It's the guy with the frizzy hair from
Yeah.
Workaholics. And he's basically like picked up $1 off the ground and he jumps on this treadmill and he's like running. And he's like, hey, excuse me, you forgot your $1. You dropped this. Hey, you dropped this. And then he turns up the speed on the treadmill and he's just running quicker and quicker like, hey, you dropped this. It's like that for headlights. I definitely do it. And what about courtesy when people let you in?
Yes, I'm always doing the big wave, like the little wave, maybe like a second wave.
At the window or behind?
I just do the behind.
I do
Yeah,
the
just like
behind
in the
too.
window.
It's a nice thing. You know what isn't nice? This actually happened to me today. Someone let me in and I waved to say thank you and the guy was a dick about it. He was
No, thank you. What about the thank you wave back? Are they obliged to do a thank you wave?
at least
back?
one finger off the wheel. You
Yeah,
know what
something.
I mean? Just
Be
that
like,
one
oh
finger.
yeah, no, any time.
And and that was the thing. It was like he was bitter at me for letting me in. And it's
You
like
shouldn't have been this part of the road.
it's like, bro,
What if you went out of your way to kind of make that an issue? Like started following him.
Oh, I did.
Like, oh yeah, I did.
that's why I was running late today.
So we actually have him here. Do you wanna say anything?
I don't actually have any more tape. I don't want to take that tape off his mouth.
Oh yeah, no, he's all right. I think we'll leave him there.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, we'll probably have a little interview
Bleep that
with him
part out,
afterwards.
Noah. It's fine. So yeah, I don't know. That's a big one.
But what about that ranger guy from the Workaholics?
Yeah.
Do you think it's ever cool to be a ranger?
I
Do you think you can
think
have red hair and also be cool?
definitely. Yeah,
You say
yeah.
that good. Do you classify yourself as someone with red hair or no?
Because of the red moustache.
Because of the red moustache.
I understand that this is an audio podcast, but I'm wondering if you guys can tell by my voice that I have an orange moustache. I do. It's an orange moustache. It's an orange beard, actually. It kind of comes brown from like my just below my ear, my hair, all the way down to my chin, and then it just gets orange.
Yeah.
And the moustache is orange. I actually got pulled aside by my boss at work. She goes, "What the hell's going on, man?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" And she's like, "Bro, your moustache, it's orange." I was like, "Is that a problem?" And she's like, "No, but why didn't you dye the rest of your hair as well?"
What?
So she thought that I dyed my moustache orange. I've actually been asked that a few times.
It doesn't look that orange, but it's. I
Okay.
think you're like the last kind of point of being able to be acceptable as a redheaded person.
Oh, okay, so
Yeah.
maybe I do have some minority power after all.
Yeah, it's kind of like you're red passing. Do you know, like some people are kind of like black passing? They've just got.
No, what's black
that-
passing? I've not heard that.
I think
so
it's
white skinned black person.
Yeah, when it's kind of like, oh, they could be black.
Like Logic.
Yeah, like Logic. Oh no, I don't even think he's.
So
I don't
Logic.
even think he could fall
I
under that
also
category.
don't think that gingers have any minority power.
I think that.
Yes,
There's
think-
no
and it's
power there.
That's a
acceptable
good
to
point,
kind
Big.
of tread
That's a
on
very
them.
good point, Big.
Yeah.
I think that
This
orange
is
orange
actually
haired.
Noah speaking right now.
I think the orange haired
Oh, it was
people
Noah.
do have some.
A lot of hate.
Yeah, there's a lot of hate, and we're quick to kind of tread on them. And I think it's perfectly fine to kind of really attack a ginger or a redhead person.
Arguably more hate towards male gingers than female gingers too.
Yes.
So often.
Well, female gingers have got something going on because I think that's.
It's a look, and it's like a
look.
thing. Do you
Yeah,
know
it's a
what I mean?
category.
It's kind of been fetishized.
Yeah.
We're not going there again, are we? No,
That is a category of Pornhub, isn't it,
Danger.
though? Like ginger.
It actually is, yeah.
Is it for
Can you actually look that up just to make sure, Noah?
You're just trying to dirty up my search history again.
What about on what is it, the gay Pornhub? Do they have ginger on there as well? I wonder if that's a thing that gay men could be into. It's like, I'm really into ginger guys.
Oh,
Imagine if
I
that doesn't exist.
Well, I know people love Irish people. A lot of people have like an Irish or Scottish person fetish. Because that's where this kind of facial hair comes from, right? It's like the Scandinavian part of the world. So that's...
But is it a fetish for gay men or girls? Do you think there's like girls out there that
That's a good
say,
question.
I'm really into ginger guys?
I think there's a...
I think there are few and far between.
I don't know if it's a fetish. I don't know if it's a fetish or it's just like a preference. Like
But
I
it
might-
definitely is for guys that are into ginger girls. But I don't know if it goes both ways.
Yeah. That's interesting. No,
I've
but-
definitely had people come up to me because I have pretty red hair, particularly in the sun.
I mean, like, what's
And-
wrong with you?
Get inside.
Turns out it was my boss.
Where are the silver bullets? But like they come up and I'm like, oh my god, it's so amazing and red. And then other people come up and are like, this is really gross. Don't look at me.
Can you put your shirt back on? Sorry, I'm just trying to eat lunch with my girlfriend.
Why are you at my daughter's funeral? No, I don't know. I think some people, I don't think it's
fetishized?
Feta-
Yeah.
feta
Fettuccine?
cheese. Feta cheese.
Yeah, no,
fettuccine.
it's like fettuccine linguine.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's a thing. I don't know. Yeah, maybe there are some people there like want that pale ginger.
You're kind of into white, kind of pale skin.
Mm.
Because I know that big in Southeast Asia, I think white skin's seen as something very desirable.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. How is it?
Some people even go so far as to like traditional, like Southeast Asian dress is like all white face paint too.
Yes.
Like it's a big
Yeah.
thing.
That's
Like pale skin seen as you haven't been out working the field.
Yes, it's the whole thing. Like, yeah, if you have pale skin, you haven't had to work. You're privileged, so you can kind of stay in the side. You haven't been out in the sun.
It's like how like medieval period, like larger women were seen as more attractive because they were eating enough.
They're
rather
not
than
struggling.
starving. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the same because I think they're really big on facial bleaching over there. Yeah, like in all the chemists and convenience stores and stuff like that. They have like huge sections for like whitening. There's got like a whitening section.
You know what? I was on People Are Trash on Reddit the other day. This is a bit of a sidestep, but there was People Are Trash. I think that's what it's called. And there was a video, and it was like a mom and pop's diner in a black neighborhood. And this black man came up and was filming this black man who was on a date with his white girlfriend, getting a feed. And he says, "Bro, what are you doing here? What are you doing at this place? You're bringing this like disgrace here, this subhuman."
What you doing here with this honky?
Yeah. Just what are you doing with your, cheese and crackers?
Yeah.
Um,
It's palm colored girl.
yeah, and it's very
Male muncher.
It's very that's very. I mean, it's
It's weird.
Does it-
That's
does it-
happening. Whereabouts was it?
somewhere in the States.
Mm.
But yeah, I don't know. Does that bear water?
Yeah. Is there an issue with race mixing?
I don't think there's an
there
issue with
is.
it. But
I think there is.
but
We're
is
the
that
Sausage Boys podcast, and I'm starting to think there is an issue with this race mixing.
Nothing more disgusting than caramel children.
It's making me feel sick.
I hate myself. That's the only reason I'm here. Is there a like? Does that bear water? I know that it doesn't ethically for me, but like, can these people,
these people, can these people that stick to their own little?
Yeah, does that bear weight? And like, because I
guess they don't like someone else entering their community, or what, he's kind of going against a black community by dating a white girl.
and saying, yeah, like, is this?
Yeah, it's kind of like he's a traitor or something like that.
Because for me,
for me,
this is Jackson
Jackson's
on the
wives,
Jackson
actually.
on the privilege hour. I do have a ginger moustache though.
yeah.
So I can actually talk on
see
black
colour.
issues because I have an
Yeah.
orange moustache. I'm a man of color.
He's actually a man of color.
But talking about that, like, it seems the way forward is to just, you know what I mean? Acceptance.
Mm.
And then it's like, no, we're not just going to, I guess that's like the black Israelite kind of view.
Yes.
Which we were talking about that a little while ago with, like, I mentioned Kendrick, for instance, on his album. And he's
sounding a bit black Israelite-y.
a little bit. He's
He's a little bit. There's like being pro-black, and then there's being anti-white or anti-other races.
Yeah, and then
Has he come out as Hotep? Imagine if Kendrick Lamar just came out as a...
what's Hotep?
It's kind of like a black supremacy movement that thinks the media is trying to make black men gay, trying to brainwash them. And they're really against race mixing.
Okay.
They're basically like black-white supremacists. Would that be
I
an
don't know.
issue if Kendrick just... Oh, Nick Cannon. Did you hear about the whole Nick Cannon thing?
Well, that's still unraveling kind of at the moment, isn't
Yeah.
it? He's yeah.
He's got this
that's
big
interesting.
thing saying white people are soulless and basically being very anti-white.
What does he say about gingered people? Ginger moustache.
He wouldn't even consider them as people.
Never mind then.
Because I think his whole thing was about the amount of melanin you had, the more soul and the more compassionate you were.
I was actually talking to a mate today, and he was talking about the first because like how ridiculous the Jesus is white thing is. And then he was talking about like
He would just look like an average guy in Lakemba. Or an
yeah,
average
yeah.
Middle Eastern looking man.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's like, so we come from Africa, right? Everyone comes from Africa. Humans.
Oh, I sure don't.
But it's like, all right, if everyone started the same color and God made humans in his image, you see where I'm going with this? God was a ginger.
That's why I have so many issues with creationism. There's so many holes in it.
You're right, Big. Yeah.
Yeah, it's true, Big. Yeah.
Big's just spitting the logic tonight.
How could someone get that white? How can gingers get that white if they started off as fully African?
Oh, that's a good question. How did they? I don't know. I guess it's what can white? Because white people are very inclined to, getting into powerful position, getting sunburn,
Having trouble with
Sorry,
dancing.
yeah, having trouble with dancing, feeling overprivileged,
Yeah.
Really being superior.
Superior, white power.
Imagine if,
White
because this is
powder?
just
What was
audio.
that?
Imagine if you just planted that on me. You just put on a Jackson voice and just started
This
chanting
is
racial
Jackson.
slurs.
White power, white power, white power.
That actually was me. No, I edit that part out.
But would that be an issue if, like, your favorite artist came out or did something that was really strange?
Well,
I'd say Rosie O'Donnell, stop doing that. I'd say,
Yeah, Rosie.
Yeah, Rosie O'Donnell.
There's
Stop
also,
doing
like-
that.
Think about Michael Jackson. Like, there's so much out there leading to sort of the thought that he was sexually assaulting children.
Yes.
And although, like, there's no real, honest to God proof about it, people have come out and said some things and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I don't
Like,
know.
so what if he touched them kids?
Bro,
Yeah,
but have you
And
heard,
they're kind of
one
like
of the-
okay with it.
like he's
He's still
done
one of
that,
the
but
biggest.
like have you heard Billie Jean?
yeah, and that's that whole thing.
That's like 4.5 minutes of pure joy.
We're like it's Michael. Like what if Jay-Z, like your favorite
Yeah.
artist, came out as a Holocaust denier? Are you still going to be rocking with him the same way?
No.
And he's like, yo,
Oh,
more like
that's so-
more like 100,000. Am I right?
I mean, you've even got fucking what's his name, Kanye,
Yeah.
coming out being like slavery was a choice in this day and age.
Oh,
I
that's
think
the
a
thing,
lot of
Kanye-
people stopped rocking
I think
with him
people
after
understand
that.
Kanye's whack, and I understand he's whack, but like I'm listening back to some of his old slaps.
He writes
Yeah.
great
Like,
tunes,
This
but
is a
Oh.
good track.
he's not a political dude. Like,
This is a good track. Listen to his old tracks. It's a good slaps. Welcome to the 80s podcast. Sausage
What can
boys,
I say? He got the good raps, the booms and the baps.
Booms
damn,
and the babs.
He
every
choosing to
day.
be good at this. Fuck.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. I mean, I don't know. At the end of the day, it's a song, isn't it? So
But would you have an issue with like your favorite artist coming out doing
Louis C.K. Let's talk about that. So like
Yeah.
at the time, I'm like, this is the funniest man in the world.
exactly
That
yeah.
happens, and I'm just like, he's a bit of a creep, isn't
He's
he?
not that funny. You'd be like, he's a bit of a hack. No.
Do you think he's funny?
No, I think he's the funniest comedian probably of all time.
He's
But nothing really changed. I guess what he did wasn't too bad.
I don't
Just
know.
I was like, what? We don't do the same thing?
Yeah, I know.
I'm
I
just
gotta-
trying to say I do that, and women seem to have no problem with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't see them complaining.
Yeah.
Expect the police at your door tomorrow.
I don't know. It's an interesting one.
But did you look? You looked at him the same after after the allegations.
Well, I mean, they
Came
weren't
out.
allegations. They were allegations, but they were true.
Yeah,
True
yeah.
allegation.
They were true, and I completely do sympathize with the movement in a lot of ways, and I understand like, and it's abuse of power.
So you had to turn your back on him. Do you think a little bit?
No, because at the end of the day, it's like I love comedy, so it doesn't make his jokes less funny. You know what I mean? Like you listen back to his jokes, and they are just as funny. Because I didn't know who
I
he
think
was
they're a
before.
lot funnier.
They are kind of in a way
Yeah.
because it's like, oh my god, that's right, that is funny.
That is funny. He actually does do that.
Yeah, yeah. When he's talking about like,
This guy really is a pervert.
he is a pervert though. It's a creepy behavior, and he's gone about it in a kind of what do you do?
But I guess he asked for consent. That's the big thing. It was nothing too out of this world. He just had like a creepy kink.
I think he also knew it was wrong, though. And like, that's part of why.
Yeah,
it's
and that's kind of
so
why he
enticing
liked
for
it.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he knows that abusing the power that way is not okay. Like it's so much harder to say no to someone who's in a position of power.
Absolutely, yeah. And that's I think the thing is like this is a grown man when he was doing it. Like he should have known better, and he did know better, and didn't care.
Or is it a thing where you reach a certain level of success, you have so much access to anything you want,
Yeah.
and you start to develop weird kinks?
I can't really.
Or do you think he would have been into that when he was in his 20s? It's kind of like the whole idea that celebrities experimenting being gay or with guys. Like, that's a real common thing that
I
you
think-
see. in
Damn, I
Hollywood.
must be a
think it
goddamn
comes with
celebrity.
That's why I'm so damn famous.
I think it comes with power for sure. Because like after a certain point, you've bought all the things you want to buy,
Yes.
even to an extent, women, and then
you can have any
start-
woman. Like, Louis C.K.
Yeah.
could probably have any woman he really wanted.
and then you start being
Yeah.
like, what else can I do? Like I
this bores me now.
yeah, I want something that I can't pay for,
Yes.
that I need to under the radar access.
And that's why I think that so many of these billionaires are drawn to pedophilia, because they can have anything and they want probably the most devious.
That's why they love hentai.
Yeah, that's why we love hentai. And
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Well, no matter what the excuse is at the end of the day, we know it's wrong. So, like, that's a creepy thing. And then, is it okay to then be like, well, he's done that creepy shit. Are we still on board with his whole, the art that he creates?
Yeah, it's like Jeffrey Epstein. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yes.
he was a great businessman. And I look past a lot of it, and I kind of look at him. This is someone I'd want to base my
Yep.
business career around.
Well, yeah, exactly. Like how much, we all look up to him.
Yeah, we look up to him.
We all look up to him.
You just have to kind of start looking
So do the
past.
kids.
Yeah.
And we
People
say,
look up
yeah.
to his
Yeah, they were looking up
face.
when he was taking advantage of them.
Yeah, we're all like,
Looming over them.
we're all like, yeah, I don't know, man. Is it okay? I think it's a case by case thing, and it's like I'll still listen to Kanye even though I think he's whack.
Yeah.
Like how far can someone go before it taints their art? Is kind of the question, I guess. isn't it?
Yes.
Oh, it'd have to be a very personal attack,
Yeah.
I think, and you'd have to hate that person personally.
Mm.
Because I'm still removed from it, and they're just a cartoon character to me at the moment.
Or at
They're
least
too
have
far
a-
away from me.
like a personal issue with what they've done. Like people who've been
That's
sexually
true.
Yeah.
assaulted.
That's
will-
really
will
true.
have way more of a problem than people who haven't, because they don't know the pain.
And that's why Louis C.K.'s kind of, I guess, banned from comedy clubs all around New York because, like, rape or taking advantage of, like, your position of power is such an issue in these groups that they're like, yeah, we're not ever going to have him here again.
I'm not sure if it's a leftist thing and it's like an agenda or whatever, but I'm like, I can legitimately kind of empathize with someone's decision to be like, no, we're going to take this stance and not let Louis C.K. do some bullshit like that.
Yeah.
Continue performing in these clubs.
Mm. Yeah, but it's a real whole thing. You know what I mean? It's kind of, there's different levels. Like, I guess, who would have been the celebrity out there that's, I guess, been affected by being cancelled the most?
Bill Cosby.
Oh, that's true.
That's a big one.
Is he the
That's
number
a
one?
big one. That's probably a big one. And I guess he did something that was, like, to a certain level where it couldn't really be denied or anything like that.
Just the sheer numbers of people that like he assaulted. It was pretty insane.
I think they're probably one of the greatest of all time in that field.
He was a goat.
Yeah, he was a goat, serial rapist.
What about what's the Australian bloke's name?
Rolf Harris,
Rolf
Rolf
Harris.
Harris.
the wobble board guy.
Oh my god, yeah.
That was a big blow for
What were
kids.
those numbers? I don't even really...
It was a couple school buses.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely a
It's just
couple school
easier to
buses worth.
transport them when they're in buses.
Yeah, it would have been like probably a whole rural town's year's worth.
I don't even know how to Google this to check the numbers. Just
Let's look at... yeah, check up the... I don't know too
Rolf
much about
Harris
the
rape
Rolf
numbers.
Harris situation.
Rolf Harris was...
What did he do? What's he even famous for?
He was an artist.
he was kind of like a play school kind of dude, wasn't he? Like a kid show host.
Something like that, I think,
That's
yeah.
what I know him more than anything. Like he wrote kids songs.
Also,
And,
he was a singer.
But I've definitely I've definitely got more of a problem with that because this bloke is Australian. And it's not, I mean...
He shouldn't have known better. Bill Cosby, fair enough. Do you know what I mean? We're
Yeah.
talking about an Australian bloke here. He shouldn't have been able to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that's the thing. I'm looking at Australia and I'm like... Because it really is in my backyard.
Bert's backyard.
Yeah. Because it's right here. I mean, it feels like he speaks with the same accent as I do.
But I think it's the whole power, getting to a certain position of power.
That's where it comes
I
from.
think it's almost impossible not to take advantage of people or do illegal things or use your power for evil. They always say absolute power corrupts absolutely.
Right.
And
yeah.
if that's just a thing,
But
should we start kind of looking into people in positions of power and have some sort of system in place?
Well, I mean, I feel like there are people who just have a good heart and can kind of come from a good spot. Like, I feel like there are, say, who have we got? Well, say there's like, all right, so...
You get tested though, and there's the whole idea that no one in the world can make $1 billion ethically.
Well, what's...
You're always
guess it
kind of
depends
taking
what-
advantage of someone at some point.
I guess it depends on like how you view what is ethically the right thing to do. I mean, I think we can look at like I might be, someone might pass me in a way or like manipulate me or use some kind of thing. But like at the end of the day, if I've entered into that race and I want to compete in that way, you know what I mean? Say there's like a Jay-Z type and then there's like, what's it? Dame Dash, the guy that was
He's manager.
working the label with him, and
Yeah.
Jay-Z kind of finessed this guy, but they were both playing the same game.
And he
that
can almost
situation.
respect it.
Almost respect it
Yeah.
because it's like, I'm sure Dame could almost respect it
Yeah.
because it's like he played that game better than I did. Whereas it comes to innocent bystanders,
And that's the thing. I feel like there's always going to be completely innocent bystanders that are taken advantage of
yeah,
in that process to make $1 billion, are in that process to become powerful.
What about Beyonce being like 17 when her and Jay-Z hooked up, and then officially like went official just after she was 18?
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, but then
She was 17. How old was Jay-Z?
I think he's like 12 years older than her.
Wow.
And then we look at it like
That's not too bad for back in those days. Well, early 2000s.
You hear about these kind of
Still
things
pretty
like
red hot.
it's like you got a
Yeah.
21-year-old dating a 15-year-old girl, and then they go on to get married and have a family and everything like that.
Yeah.
That's a funny one, isn't it? We're going like, oh, okay, well, you know, she seems really happy.
Yeah, and I guess she's mature enough. It's like the Jerry Seinfeld scenario as well. What, meeting his girlfriend
How old was
in a
she?
park. I think she was 16 and he would have been in his 50s. But kind of when you're introduced to his family.
So,
Her
hey
family.
there, darling.
What's the deal? What's the deal with
what's the deal with your
Wally?
parents?
What's the deal with your parents?
What is the deal with your parents?
16. Oh.
They're out of here. Bow, ba-dum, bow, 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 down, down.
Ah, Jerry. Whoa. Young girl. Okay.
Jerry. She's underage.
16 is old enough. I can't do it.
16 is old enough. Yeah.
16! Jerry, she's 16!
She's just out of grade school.
Let her go to school. I know, she's young, but she acts old. Look at her.
I swear, she has a flybys and everything.
Yeah, okay. Well, yeah, I mean, it's wrong. It's wrong. I see that as wrong.
16, but you get the parents okay.
I mean, it fucking has nothing to do with the parents.
I think
I don't think we're talking about
kind
it.
of
Because
does.
those parents could
Sometimes-
be abusing her as well. They
Exactly.
are.
Are they? They're kind of like,
parents are
oh, it's
fucked.
Jerry Seinfeld, and she's kind of like, oh, wow, I looked up to... Do you think she would have watched Seinfeld?
Maybe she had to go to school the next day and had to go to sleep before it was on.
maybe she
Oh, yeah.
fetishized Seinfeld.
Yes. What if she took advantage of him?
Ooh.
No one
Oh,
talks
just-
about that.
Creeping up from behind.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Have you guys seen photos of her? This chick?
Yeah.
No.
She's pretty stunning. From
Can you
the
can you
photos
can
I've
you look her up, Noah?
Yeah,
I want to show.
What
Kate
if there's like if she's 16 and mature?
Yep.
And she's like, yeah, no, I'm attracted to him. He's a powerful man. And the parents are like, yeah, I'm okay. She's a mature girl. There's nothing really wrong with it.
Yeah. Okay. So we put rules in place in like a blanket kind of way, right? So
Yeah.
we go. 18 is kind of like, all right, let's look at 18, and that's the number.
Yeah, how old is 16 really?
Ooh, that's rough. That's rough. That's
It's
rough.
16. I guess because what? Women are more mature than men.
Yep.
They usually say, what, 3 years or something like that? So a 16-year-old's technically 19.
All right. Say. Oh, you got the photo, Noah?
Ooh, and that's her at 16. Man. 17. Yeah, we might pause this podcast. I think I'm just going to... I might just go to the bathroom quickly.
Yeah. Let's go to the bathroom.
Yeah, let's go.
Like objectively.
All right.
she's
Welcome
quite
back, guys.
gorgeous.
I was a bit tired.
What's her name, Noah? Just so people can look her up.
Shoshana something.
But she looks mature.
Jerry Seinfeld, young girlfriend, Shoshana.
She looks like a
Shoshana
mature
Lunston
woman.
Grass.
Because he's not being creepy. He's attracted to mature-looking features. It'd be an issue if she was kind of like very frail and skinny and small.
She holds herself with a certain maturity. You can definitely see in photos.
100%.
Like she has that air about her.
You can tell from the photos. She holds herself maturely. You can tell from the photos.
What?
You can tell from the photos she holds herself maturely. That's all I'm saying. She looks really smart and funny. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I know. That's all we're saying.
She just looks
She's
nice.
probably got great conversation. You know what I mean?
She just looks like she can hold a conversation. That's all I'm saying.
Hmm.
Wait, maybe we should pause this podcast again. Welcome back, guys.
Oh. Yeah.
My ears are burning.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think that's on.
So we're insinuating that we were just masturbating to a 16-year-old on...
You were.
being recorded right now.
I think at the end of the day, it's like the rules are in place for a reason, and that's not a far out rule. That's a rule that we can be like, oh, okay, like that makes sense.
That what 18's the limit.
Yeah, and I think just wait, bro.
Oh, actually, no. There's
You're
some
thinking with your dick. If
There's
you're
some
going-
areas. There's some areas where the age of consent's 16.
bro. There's some areas where the age of consent is fucking 12. I think that's wrong.
Even though I vacation there monthly, it's the system. It's their problem.
Corona is really messing with my sex life.
The lowest age of consent I've found online is 14.
Okay. You want to look at flights?
Austria.
Wait, 14.
In Austria.
In
Age of
Austria.
consent is 14 in Austria.
Austria has Europe's lowest age of consent at 14. But
What
I'm
if-
guessing you could find somewhere.
Well, I mean, in the
much
Middle
lower.
East, you
What
can
if
get married
you
at like
used that?
12
It
or
was like,
something.
oh, I thought I was in Austria. This is Australia. Oh.
Yeah, I
I
wonder.
fucked up. That's my holiday plans.
I wonder
out
what
the
they would
window.
say. I wonder what they would say. That's very interesting. Have you seen *Handmaid's Tale*?
No.
So in this show, it's like this this world that's kind of become corrupt. There was a civil war in the States, and what's happened in the States is
Everyone moved to Austria.
it's become this situation in the States where it's kind of like run by these Bible bashing men who are essentially like raping these women and kind of like taking control of the whole thing. These women seek refuge and they're in Canada and they're trying to explain their situation. And in Canada, they're just like, there's nothing we can do because it happened in their land and
Yeah.
they are those rules. And I mean, I guess that's happening everywhere, isn't it? Like everyone's got these.
Yeah, a country's got their own. And who's another person or another country to get involved?
I'm just looking at the literal situation. I'm just like, they deserve protection.
It's like if you're in Austria, it's like, well, this is working for us.
I think you're a fucking. Do you know how many girls are out there? 3.5 billion. Look for other women. Stop fucking 16-year-olds, Jerry Seinfeld.
Jerry Seinfeld. This is a shout out.
Is this a thing
Desi-
with
Desi
comedians?
boy.
Is this a thing with comedians? We got Jerry, we got Louis C.K., we got Bill Cosby.
think
I mean, it's a
again,
bit different, isn't it?
It's just people who've reached the end of their like sort of financial limit. They're like,
But do
"There's
we
nothing
just
else I
know of
can
it because
buy."
these are successful people? That's why we know of these stories.
For sure.
You know
For
what I
sure.
mean? There must be this in every.
In every field, like I guess in marketing or it probably happened more in the entertainment industry.
I mean, even if you just look at the numbers for child pornography, like trading across the world, it's insane. It's like one of the biggest sort of underground tradings that you can find.
I
Child
heard
pornography.
something like the dark web. I think 80 or something % of the
Dark
internet's
web.
used for the dark web. But
Yeah, right.
literally, I think that's what it's mostly used for. The internet.
Have you paroled the dark
No.
dark underbelly?
Do you guys want to?
I gotta be
Well,
honest. I have been on the dark web.
You have.
Yeah.
How do you get onto it?
You've got to go through a
16-year-old girl.
straight through.
That's straight through. So you have to go to Austria first.
Yeah.
It's like this specific server you've got to hook onto, and you've got to get a VPN so you can be sort of untraceable. Otherwise, you could be found. I won't say the name of this server, but it basically looks like Google,
Jennifer was her name.
and she was beautiful.
And it's what? It just looks like Google, but you can search anything.
Yeah. So I was searching for things to put in your nose.
Yeah.
But you can search for literally anything. Like, we found ads for guns that you could buy, like Uzis, shit like that.
Could it get shipped to your front door without any issue?
Yeah. As long as no one picks it up in customs, like, they hide that shit, you know?
But even then, what's going on? You'd probably get it dropped to like a PO box or something like that, right? So it wouldn't.
Yeah, actually, the situation that I had was it was a friend was ordering some certain stimulants from
Yeah.
the dark web, and nobody was home when the post dude came to drop it off, and they booked it under a fake name, so it went back to the post office, put in a box. And
Oh,
someone-
they couldn't pick it up because it was
No,
under the wrong
They
name.
managed to get it, but the way that they had to do it was someone else from the house went and was like, my friend isn't home, but I definitely live with him. Here's my like card with the address to prove that I live at the same house.
Right.
But it was a
They
real
picked it
tense
up.
couple of days. Everyone was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, what do we do?
But I guess it's illegal to open up someone else's mail.
But
Like
if it's
even
for,
at the-
it's for. I mean, how's anyone ever going to find that out?
Yeah.
Are they? You get it and you just open it, and then once you throw away the packaging, because it's like no one's going to ask what's in this package.
Yeah, especially when it's got not anything dangerous taped all
It's
around.
just in the
it.
shape of a 15-year-old girl. Just in wrapping paper.
Just try to walk away.
Oh my god,
Can
that
you
shit.
imagine they open it and it's like handguns or something? Like, Aww.
Oh,
We're really hoping to catch some child sex trafficking people, right?
At least
here.
we can kill ourselves. Oh, the people find it. Oh, I thought you meant the people.
yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, I can imagine you just get to the end of your rope, even with life, and just be like, well, fuck it, man. I don't give a fuck about anything. Some people get dealt a really, really shit hand and don't have any coping mechanisms for that.
Yeah.
We've got anarchists walking around. They're just like, well, fuck it. Like, why would I give a fuck about this person's ethics? You know what I mean?
And I think that's becoming more and more popular nowadays to take like an anarchistic worldview.
Ooh.
Especially with everything that's going on right now.
What's it
where
is it a
everyone's
marketing?
questioning
Is it a
everything.
marketing thing?
Do they want it to? Does the government want people to convert to anarchism?
I don't think the government wants that.
That sounds like a heavy no.
Maybe not.
Doing whatever the fuck they want. God damn, no.
I think the government are trying their hardest to just have people not question shit. Like,
But I think it's
Most
having the
of the
opposite
grindstone.
effect though, because I think people are way more like
horny.
than before, and that's
You
why
took the word
things
right
like
out of
that.
my mouth.
That wasn't a word.
What's what I was thinking?
Yeah, I don't know.
I think particularly in this like COVID break, people have really been able to take a breath, realize what's important to them and what issues are like seriously causing problems as far as people's freedoms and people's sort of ability to live happy lives.
Yeah.
And now that they've
Yeah.
had that breath where they don't have to be at work every second of the day just to be able to afford rent and food, there's a lot of people questioning the reality that we're sort of living in.
I think that's just more and more common, especially now that everyone, I guess, after the whole COVID thing, basically would drop to the same level.
Yeah.
For the most part, basically everyone kind of collectively losing their jobs, struggling, having to take kind of more menial jobs, or collect Centrelink payments. Everyone's kind of on the same level. I guess we're basically living in kind of a communist society.
Somewhat. Yeah, I guess you're probably right.
Is there anything wrong with that?
Well, I mean,
Is there anything wrong if everyone just had like a certain amount given to them each month?
well, I'm pretty content, and I'm pretty content with just making creative pursuits.
I think that's what would happen. I think people would kind of start to question everything a little bit more and maybe only really go for certain endeavors that they really feel passionate about. Because I think even kind of just looking on social media and on Facebook in particular, so many people just dropping new music and like, oh, I've always wanted to be an artist. Here's a video of me singing. Here's these artworks that I've just been doing for this longest period of time. I just want to go public with it right now.
There's been some pretty like heavy arguments recently, particularly recently about UBIs, which is like universal basic income. So a lot of the right wing is arguing that if you give someone a universal income, say $600 a week, or even less, they will have no interest in working, particularly menial jobs. But in a lot of countries where there is a UBI, like a lot of Nordic countries, people take that money and put that towards their personal passion interests.
Yeah.
And then they continue to work to afford rent, food, bills, that kind of shit.
Yeah.
So really all you're doing is allowing people to have a social life outside of their work life.
Yes.
And there was that whole
That's a good
thing-
case that's a very good case for it as well.
Yeah, and like there's that whole thing that people were saying if you give people this UBI, there'll be no interest in working. People will just continue living off the dole and no one's going to get anything done. But like currently the only people who really sort of take advantage of the dole are people who are already struggling economically and sort of mentally, and they're not going to work anyway.
They're just gonna do ice.
Yeah, like they have no other outlet.
It's just ice.
Yeah,
And they weren't going to work previously, like no matter
not
what
unless
they
you
get.
can be high on ice while you work.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. They want to stimulate these people so they give back to the economy and make a richer kind of economy, right? Oh, actually, you know what's a funny thing? I was going to get lunch with my girlfriend the other day. We're walking up the road, and as we're going up, you know how people are just trying to hand you fucking flyers and shit?
Yeah.
And it's just everywhere in Sydney. Like, you just go past any, like, train station or whatever, trying to give you a reason to stop and we just wanted to keep walking. And I saw these people and I was just like, don't make eye contact.
He's like, and they're like, hey, come on, man, I'm a person too. Just give me some sort of respect.
And I was like, get out of
Don't
here.
make this about you.
I was like, sorry, I'm late for my paranoid schizophrenia appointment. I was just coming up with random excuses. So we went past and they were like, Black Lives Matter. Tried to hand me a pamphlet and I was like, wow, don't believe you.
I don't care about that.
No. But the thing was, we
Ginger lives matter.
just walked up because I wasn't going to stop for anything.
What about white lives matter?
What about that?
We're
what
all
about that?
people, bro.
I was like, what about that, bro?
What about that, bruv?
No, but we just kept walking.
Does my life mean any less than yours?
How can you stand there, mate, and just tell me that, mate?
How can you stand here and go say your life's more important than mine?
You're a fucking
My
joke.
life matters
You're
too.
a fucking joke, mate. Put on a necktie, go to work. Get
How
out of my
about you
face.
go get a job, bruv, and handing out these flyers?
We cut your heart.
We're all African. We all start off as African. Or
We're all
technically...
black.
Some of us
Sorry,
just
mate.
did better. Do better. As we were walking, so I wasn't stopping for anything. That was the case. We kept walking, and I was like, you know what? Actually, like, I didn't expect that was going to be what they were selling, kind of thing. I was like, I want to go back for that. So we went up and got our food. We were coming back, and we were even on the other side of the road. I was like, let's cross back over to that side of the road so we can sign their petition. Got over there and read the thing.
Oh, you actually went and cucked and signed the petition?
I cucked out.
Yeah.
I cucked out. They had the sheet there and everything. And I've read the blurb at the top. But I was like, I'm already here and my chick's already signing the fucking thing.
Yeah.
And I was reading it just like, this petition is about nothing. This isn't going to go towards anything. Right? And then I signed it. I went ahead and signed it. But there were just arbitrary points that they were making that obviously I agreed with.
Yeah.
There is a huge...
But it's not actually going to evoke a significant change.
It's not
or
going...
it's going anywhere.
It's not going...
I wonder how much of that shit is going straight to telemarketers and stuff.
No, I don't think it's any of that. I
Not
think
that
this is
kind of
I think this is a university group of 19-year-old,
Yeah.
4 19-year-old girls that have made this thing, and they're trying to invoke some kind of change. Which, you know, like,
Yeah, good on him, but I
Good-
guess...
good on them, but
Yeah.
it's the whole thing was arbitrary. They didn't have a... There was nothing that this was going towards, and what the deal with this situation was that they were trying to harvest these voices and everything to put towards almost nothing, right?
Yeah.
So I signed this thing, and I just wanted to keep moving after that because I knew that this was about to become like a debate about socialism or something like that.
Of course.
And
I think even at the Black Lives Matter protest, it was run by the Australian Socialist Party. I remember seeing that, and I was like, wow, this is interesting that you're kind of using this thing to push your agenda.
And that's exactly the thing that I knew was about to happen. And they say, do you know what's going on in Beirut at the moment? I was like,
Same
yes.
Black Lives Matter
Yes.
girls.
Yes. And I was like, yes, I do. And like, I understand the situation. Like,
Well, they ran out of
I know-
hummus. They ran out of tabbouleh.
that's what's going on there.
Yeah, I know.
And
And
it
the
was,
kebab shops around Sydney are closing down.
and it was kind of like, I understand what you're saying, where you're coming from. They asked me if I'd heard about socialism, if I wanted to hear more about socialism. And
Well,
it was
this is
just
this straight up Black Lives Matter.
110. 110. It was all the same shit. And it was just like, I understand where you're coming from and everything, but like, I'm just not up for this. They were like,
Oh, you're just gonna make a phone call on your iPhone that's made by
bro,
child
you know what she
slaves.
said?
Yeah.
You know what she said? You know what this 19-year-old girl said to me? We don't need solutions. We need full-blown revolution. And I was like, it's fucking 10 a.m. What I need is a fucking coffee. I don't need full-blown revolution. And it's crazy. It's crazy. What? How are you jumping to that?
Is a revolution not a solution? Like, is that not in her head? Like, there's a problem. Let's revolt. That's
I can
the
understand.
solution
I
to
can
this
understand the fight for.
Could
a
you just
rev-
like ask her what does this actually look like? So
I
what are we
just-
gonna do for this revolution you speak of?
I was
What do we have to
angered.
do exactly?
I was angered at the situation because I was just like, I know nothing, and you know even less than I.
It's almost like clickbait.
That's what it was.
They're
The whole
basically
thing
like
was
an
clickbait.
internet
And then
ad.
it's like, you want to
Black
join up to
Lives Matter.
socialism,
Then
bro.
you come and it's like, wait.
You know, while you're
This,
here,
this.
while you're here, you want to sign up to socialism?
Quick Wes.
Yeah. Ah, man, that shit just fucking, I don't know, can't handle it. All right,
So,
so
back to your little.
nah, fuck it, man. Pro
I
Tools.
just hate women.
And
Anyway.
that's when I said, "How can I have chlamydia? I've never even had sex."
And that's when I started questioning Jackson about how these women coming up to you, giving you flyers in your own kitchen.
It was my attic. Actually.
How'd she get all the way through the house?
Oh, she was. It was difficult. That's how. No, but fuck that shit, man. I have a better question. Were you a bully in high school?
Oh,
Were you a bully?
probably like a second grade bully,
Sec-
like not
second-
first grade bully. Like I wasn't kind of
second tier bully.
Yeah, second tier bully would probably be the thing. I'd probably only bully friends and stuff like that. I wasn't
But everyone
kind of
was your friend,
Everyone was my friend,
especially the fat kids.
More like teasing than bullying. Like it was all in good faith kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the most part.
Well,
For the
any
most
funny stories? Anything that sticks out to you?
There's too many. I guess going to a Catholic boys' school, bullying's just like a part-time sport. Like
Right.
most of the day spent bullying.
And look at that weird
Oh,
ginger.
absolutely.
Look at that weird ginger.
Did you ever?
kid.
Did you ever have to walk away? Did you ever get grilled?
Oh man, I can't. There's so many instances. I think one of my good friends, we tied him up, kind of in this big common area, and we tied him up with sticky tape to like a pole. Like I probably.
Was he a twink? How'd you get him down?
Oh, it was probably like 8 guys. We're all his friends.
Oh,
Yeah,
right.
we tied him to a pole.
Word.
So we put a
His
roofie. We put a
friends,
roofie
yeah.
in his milk. He drank a lot of milk.
This strawberry milk tastes funny.
Yeah, so yeah, we drugged him. Yeah, we took advantage of him.
Of course. Yeah, well, that goes without saying.
Yeah, that goes without saying. Yeah, so we sodomized him, and then, yeah, we basically did it like a train. And then we tied him to this big pillar with probably 2 tapes worth of sticky tape. And then just turned the lights off and locked him in there. And then I remember one of the year coordinators or something came in
At his
opened
funeral.
up the huge at his funeral and did a speech. Was like, I should have done something to stop this. But I remember he opened up the
Boys will be boys.
this big common area, and we're all kind of like laughing, waiting for him to see him. And he opens it up, takes a look, and then just close the door straight on him.
That's amazing.
But just that constant thing, usually, I guess, taking people's clothes, tying people up.
Do you ever nugget anyone's bag?
Oh, 24/7, yeah.
Nugget?
Do you
What
do
was a
nuggeting?
nugget?
It's where you take everything out, put it inside out, and put their shit back in there and tie it up.
It's like it's not
This
even
is a lot of work, isn't it?
It's not even painful. It's just like, why would you do this to me?
It's more annoying, and then having to sort that out afterwards is just embarrassing. You got 30 other kids like, "Nah." Oh, do you want to hear something nutty one
Yeah,
time?
what
actually?
was like the worst? What was the worst?
I couldn't tell you the worst. There was a lot. Oh,
There's actually police involved.
I wasn't a bully. I was never a bully, but like looking back on it, I definitely could have
Tread
understood that
line.
other people were not in on the joke as much as I was.
So you weren't like a full-fledged bully?
Oh, not
You
at
were.
all, man. No, I was very nice, and I was legitimately friends with everyone.
Yeah.
But I was always in it for a laugh too. And
of course.
I mean,
I think that's the difference. There's the bullies that kind of do it because they've got issues at home. And then there's the bullies that are just doing it because it's a bit of fun with the boys.
yeah, 100%.
Come from very different places.
Oh my god,
But
this
this
one's
story-
terrible. This one isn't even me being a bully. It's just me being a dickhead. So there was like
She was 14. This was last week. I made the excuse that I thought Australia was Austria.
she was like, I'm gonna call Seinfeld and he won't be fine with this. So we were watching like this video back.
Jerry Seinfeld. And then we all started thinking, how old is 16 really?
Well, if it's good enough for Jerry.
Let's get up to Jerry.
Time's just a construct, man.
Age is a construct.
We're all millions of years old in our souls, dude.
She's 14. I'm 14 2 times over. I know better. So there was this video. We're in a year 8 class, so I guess everyone was like 13, 14. We're all pretty hot. There was a video playing of our class, and there was a girl, and just in front of like 24 kids, however many people were in my class, I was like, oh, I need a name. Give me a name. Girl's name. Go on.
Georgia.
I said, Georgia, what's that on your lip? and I thought it was just like a cut or something like that. My teacher turned around and said, "Shut up, Jackson." During the middle of this video, there were other kids just like, "Ooh!" Not what the teacher had said, but what I had said. Because in hindsight, what had happened was she had a cold sore.
From the teacher.
No, not from the teacher.
We're in Austria. We're in a relationship. There was nothing wrong with it.
No,
Jerry's giving all the kids cold sores.
And then my teacher said, "Jackson." Down, ba-down, bam, bam.
Jackson.
Ba-dum, bum, ba-dum, bum.
Don't talk to my wife. Don't talk to my wife like that. I'm teacher Jerry.
No, but this girl had chlamydia on her lip. She had a cold sore, and I just went. I didn't even know what it was.
Cold sore? Do you want me to turn the heat on?
As a kid, that haunts you for like weeks. Like,
Oh my
being called out
god,
or
I did
something
not.
like that.
I mean, and even like in hindsight, I shudder about it. But at the time, I didn't even shudder about it because
What
I
did you
didn't
think?
know.
You just thought it was like nothing.
I didn't know what it was. I
is
thought it
that?
was food on her face or something like that. I didn't know because I didn't even know what that was. You know what I mean? At that age. So.
Now the egg's on your face.
Well, the cold sore's on hers. So who really got the?
Who's winning?
Who really got the?
1-0,
better
baby.
No, but like, yeah, just do shit like that constantly. Just put my foot in my mouth.
Just little things. Was like, oh, what was I thinking?
Yeah, just little
Funny in
things
the
like
moment.
funny in the moment, and maybe as well. Like I was definitely wanted to. I mean, maybe I knew. Maybe a part of me knew. Let's be real.
Yeah, you knew it was a cold sore. You probably gave it to her. And
So I gave her this cold sore, and I was just like,
so I was working as a substitute teacher. My co-worker Jerry Seinfeld and I were.
"So what's the deal with cold sores?
What's the deal with cold sores?
You've got one on your face, Georgia."
Georgia was right there on your face.
Yeah, hilarious. I remember also.
Bullying's fun.
Oh, it's
Just-
the funnest.
It's the funnest thing
It's
you
bre-
can do.
It's bread and butter, isn't it?
It's just great.
Salt of the earth.
I think it's important. I think it's really important to kind of to bully and to have been bullied. I'm starting to think it's going away though.
It's
I
the
think
kids
it-
that haven't bullied though, that get bullied.
Yes.
That's a real issue.
Because
Like,
it's an important part of life.
Yeah, they don't have probably they have so much anxiety that they can't stand up and be like, "No."
What's
fuck
that
you."
on your face? I want to say it.
I was talking to a man recently. He's like 50 years old, and he was like,
So he was grooming me. And
I was like, Jerry. Are you
what?
like-
I'm
he-
sick of these women.
He left his last place of work because he was getting bullied.
A 50-year-old man.
Yeah.
That's like not bullying anymore. That's just
That's
verbal assault.
But the thing is, some people are just fucking anxious, depressed, and whatever. But I don't know how you could be getting bullied. Like
What
those.
kind of job? Decent guy?
I don't
or-
know, man. I don't know what kind of job it was. Very decent guy. I can see why he would have been.
He's like, Jackson, I just had
He
a
was a
cold sore
substitute
and
teacher.
they pointed it out. This young
he
kid
was a
pointed it.
substitute teacher.
Getting bullied by the kids.
Hey, sir, what's that on your lip?
You're never getting married, are you, sir?
You were kissing Georgia. And he's like, get out right now.
How did you see that tape?
He's like, I got to take this kid out.
Saw your ex-wife with a black guy last night.
Oh. And he's like, tell me more.
Tell me more.
Are you a cuck, sir?
You cuck, sir.
Sir, you're a cock. Hey, don't say that in class, but maybe tell your dad.
Email me later.
He might be later.
Man,
that's full on getting bullied as a 50-year-old man.
Yeah, how does someone get to that point? I mean,
It must just be this endless cycle throughout your whole life.
I think some people are like people who have been victims for a very long time definitely have an air of victimhood about them.
Yes.
Like particularly you
Yes.
see people who've been sexually assaulted so often.
And you just want to sexually assault them. It must
Yeah,
be something
it's
about them at that point.
they're kind of magnanimous
Yeah.
for that.
I could just break all your boundaries. Fuck. But like yeah, the people who've had those issues and have like felt that end of the stick.
No pun intended.
Speaking of one of the other occasions we did, it was a stick involved, and but anyway, yeah.
They just kind of live in fear of that end of the stick, and they're like, other people can smell it, especially people who were bullies, you know?
Yeah. I know, and I think that's a real thing. I think I know people who were just a lifelong victim. They just walk around just basically asking to be teased, asking to be taken advantage of, or like being the butt of the joke.
Yeah, I guess at some point you just got to rise up and be like, nah, fuck that. Like I'm a person. You know what I mean? And kind of.
But sometimes you can't. I think sometimes if you just are that guy, you work as the victim too well. You always kind of give the response. Because that's what it's about. It's about getting a reaction out of someone.
Yeah.
And if you always give reactions. Yeah.
Like, definitely because you're like cowering from the whip, they're going to be like, let's whip him some more.
100%. And it's like, oh, let's get this guy. He's always going to give us a reaction.
I guess that's what a real bully is. Like I would never.
But you do it for the reaction, though.
I'd never crack it at someone that was cowering. No way.
But isn't that what it's all about? It's about getting the reaction out of someone. It's like, oh, this guy, I know I can get a reaction out of.
Oh, bro.
So you go for it.
Go the hardest on my mates. Absolutely. Like, had a friend that didn't want to eat in front of any girls. Because he was paranoid about the way that he ate. And he thought
you don't eat that weird, man. I've seen you eat before.
Yeah, so this friend.
Yeah, so this friend.
It's just when you use your hands that it gets gross.
Yeah, that's the only thing.
Yeah.
So what did you do? What did you do to this guy? Let's hear this story. You took him to
No, so he just always ate in front of these girls. He'd always be paranoid eating in front of girls. So like he'd eat before he went and sat with his girlfriend. And then one time
you ordered him a whole bunch of food.
One time we kind of went over to his girlfriend. He didn't even eat fucking weird. He ate like a human being, but he was just paranoid about it. So we went and got his girlfriend and brought her over to the group while he was eating and like walked up behind kind of thing and knew it just so he'd freak the fuck out. And he literally halfway through the sandwich, put it back on the foil, wrapped it up, put it in his lunchbox, put the lunchbox in his bag.
That's funny.
Like he was properly done with that meal now. Like
that's absolutely. I actually want to know the name of this guy because I want to
bully him.
Yeah, bully him. Because that's a fear that's worthy of bullying someone about.
Props to him for having a girlfriend, even though he's that paranoid about eating in front of girls, though.
Oh, well, to be fair, he was 13.
Yeah,
I mean, she was 6.
Jerry.
No, it's all right. We're a big sister. We can pick her up from here, both of us. Do you guys even drive? Do you have a driver's license? We're taking this bitch.
Get in the van.
Because it's like if someone had a fear of tomatoes, I would have a tomato with me whenever I went and saw them.
I would kryptonite.
Yeah. I think that's a really common thing to have a fear of tomatoes.
Do you guys have a kryptonite?
As if you didn't just pull that out of your ass, fear of tomatoes.
Yeah.
Do you guys have a kryptonite? Something that someone could pull up, bully you, and you would just fold. You would fold like a house of cards under I don't know.
I don't think there's anything anyone could pull up and I would fold in front of them. I might cry myself to sleep in my own personal time.
I definitely do. I'll drop my demeanor.
What would your one be? I
think I can't even say it.
My one would be eating ice blocks, like biting into them. That would freak me out.
That's a physical demeanor, but that's not going to...
If someone came out to me and did that like a Calippo, it would freak me out.
But no one could come and say something emotional to you or something that was your emotional blind
something
spot.
like that. Something like the eating in public. What would yours be? Let's just say it.
No, well, it'd be more like a situational thing. They'd have to bring it up and I'd get triggered. A trigger spot. Do you have a trigger spot? Something that would make you go...
A trigger spot?
You must. I feel like everyone's kind of got that.
I think I do, but I also don't want to talk about
No.
it.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, because, me and Jackson would spend the rest of the podcast bullying you about it.
Just razz me up and down for
the whole time. But I think it is sometimes important to kind of get those things out there and putting them at the forefront. Whereas like, this is my biggest insecurity.
It's like once you take the power away from it.
It's easy for you to say. You're not even saying you have one.
Scared of fucking Calippos.
Crim's just like, no, you know what? You two should say it.
You know what? You should just be saying it. It's like the whole Eminem thing at the final battle where he's like, I am white. I am a bum. I do live in a trailer with my mom.
Nah, mine would be some shit that I'm still dealing with and just trying to find a resolution to it in life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's not even necessarily like if someone brought it up, it'd be more of an emotional thing for me. I'm not sure I could be bullied about it per se. As a kid, though, you have all these insecurities for no reason. Thing as you get older, if there's any insecurity, it's just because you don't understand why you have that and you still need to get your head around it.
100%. I think probably one of the biggest ones when I was younger was just like pimples.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And that would always
People
be
would walk up and be like, yo, what's poppin'?
Yeah.
I can't even listen to Jack Harlow.
They just played What's Poppin' by Jack Harlow whenever I was around. But it's such an easy one. It's such an easy one to get people at.
Like anyone with braces call them like train tracks or something.
You couldn't even go to a Kanye concert because there's too many whiteheads.
He's on fire.
Yeah.
But something like that, I guess.
I say it to the mic anyway. I go, yeah, cool.
Yeah,
because
cool.
Yeah.
But it's like braces. I guess braces are something that used to be teased, but now are cool.
Are they?
I think people are getting
What?
like
I
gold
agree.
braces and stuff like that. You got that little Uzi Vert getting braces put in.
It's like akin to like a grill.
Yes, exactly.
It's like, this is something funky I can put.
It's cool and it's shiny in my teeth.
Same with glasses. Like I remember when I was a kid, glasses were like the dorkiest fucking thing.
Bro,
you
you're a
could ever
dork.
wear.
There was a
Wearing
period
glasses,
in
you're a
like
dork.
2010
Yeah.
that it was the coolest thing
Yeah.
possible.
But now it's
Everyone
just-
taking the cinema glasses and wearing those.
Oh my god.
Dorks, bro. They're all dorks. Were you doing that?
Yeah.
No, you weren't. You weren't
I
doing
was. I had a glasses phase. I had the glasses phase. Probably when I would have been in year 8, 9.
that. Actually, I did as well. That's kind of what I attribute my...
You're a dork. You're a dork. You didn't actually do that.
That's
you
what
didn't
I-
actually.
That's what
yeah,
I
well,
kind
I
of...
did that as well. I
That's
had
kind of what I attribute my dyslexia to, is wearing one red and one blue lens either side. It's the happiest day of my life when they brought in just like the tinted ones that were both black on both
My
sides.
depth perception is out of whack.
Grim's like, no, I don't have any sore spots, and then I grill him for 1 second about wearing 3D glasses.
We found a nerve.
You know,
I remember being so
No, you're not
mad.
wait, no, in all seriousness, you're not a dork. I don't mean that.
He knows it's true.
I'm not
I
saying
remember,
anything anymore.
I remember being so mad.
I didn't mean to
to
squeeze you to that point.
We're just teasing someone for pimples.
What's all the fuss about? Sorry, what's all the fuss about?
Oh, you've done this before.
I didn't mean to tweeze. I didn't mean to tease you. That's the bottom of the barrel.
This is really erupting into quite a scene.
Yeah, right. There you go. I guess I've got a plethora of those things where it's just like stupid stuff.
Or insecurities, or things
Yeah,
you had
definitely.
growing up.
Definitely. Like, I just wanted to, I wanted to be friends with everyone, so I would definitely chameleon kind of into those situations. And then would always feel insecure because you can always feel out of the loop in those situations.
Yeah. That's a tricky one. Could you, if someone found that was a personality trait you had, could someone tease you about that? Oh, he wants to make friends. Hey, you want to be my friend?
You can tease someone about anything. You can
All about
tease...
the angle.
It's all about the angle. It's all about the angle. Just say it 4 times in a row. And if there's 2 of you versus 1, all of a sudden it's just like, hey, I don't have pimples.
Hey. And as soon as they admit something that they find insecure about themselves, like this friend that couldn't eat in public, that's the only thing I'm going to be thinking about for the rest of our relationship.
Yeah.
Is going to be how am I going to get him today about eating in public?
Yeah, there was a million things like that.
You guys are bastards.
Well, you never did that.
Contrary to you guys, I was bullied hard in high school.
What?
About
Yeah.
what? What were you bullied about?
Yeah, what are you bullied about?
Only nerds don't tell you what you were bullied about.
If
Go on,
anyone-
loser, tell us.
If anyone listening to this saw me, they would know fucking straight away.
I had no idea you were bullied big.
yeah.
Yeah. So you're actually bullied.
Big was bullied hard, man.
Gosh. What
No,
were some
yeah.
of the things? Like,
Oh, just like the dumbest stuff. I remember going, like I was in a really small school, and a lot of the kids in my class were sort of generic. Well, I don't want to say generic, but like pretty classic dudes. Like
like the jocks in
like
the TV shows.
kind of shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm
Cool dudes.
generally more of a feminine.
Yeah,
person.
they're actually cool
They're-
kids. You're talking about awesome dudes.
you know,
They were
they're
actually
They're
hot.
like actually hot, awesome
popular
dudes.
and healthy and shit. You know, like
Yeah.
everything I wanted to be.
No.
Socially mature.
No, that's silly. That's silly. That's silly.
But yeah.
But like I'm more of a feminine person than I am masculine, I think, usually. And it took me a long time to grow into that. And particularly in that period of time where like men acting like women was not cool. like,
And then it kind of became uber cool.
Now it's
Yeah.
really cool.
yeah, now
That's
it's everywhere.
really cool.
Now it's really cool.
Like, couldn't this have happened?
That's why I'm so
fucking 10 years
cool.
ago?
Oh, anyway, go ahead. What was, Yeah, so then what happened?
There's nothing cooler than a man just complaining about their situation.
Yeah, literally.
Just whinging and whining.
Man
Yeah.
flu.
Oi, we've got to
Going
whinge.
shopping.
We've got to wind this up. Hey, I'm feeling too much like a bully. Can we just go turn this on someone else? I gotta go.
Let's just
Let's get
yell at
Noah
people on
about
the
how he
street.
was feminine.
No, but in all seriousness, boys, we should wrap this up. This has been a really fun episode.
Yeah.
Sausage boys. So we got K-Dot.
It's your boy K-Dot here.
We got K-Dot. we got your boy Pimple.
Yeah, let's go see more young people here.
we
We got Jerry Seinfeld here, aka.
So what's the deal with cold sores?
So I've been in Austria for a while, and I'm like, where are all the kangaroos at?
I love the laws here.
All right, no, we're wrapping. All right, K-Dot, thank you.
K-Dot.
We got Noah.
We got Big.
We
Thanks
got
for having
Big.
me, guys.
And as always, we're
Jackson,
sponsored by
Sausage
use the
Boys.
code sausage to get 10% off your cigarettes.
They make you look cool.
They make you look cool. You probably won't get bullied if you smoke cigarettes.
And even if you do get bullied, they give you, things that'll kind of shorten your life.
yes, you won't have to
don't
be
have to worry
bullied for
about-
as long, because hopefully you'll die from some sort of lung deficiency.
You know what
lung
they say?
issue.
Smoke the pain away.
Yeah. And in all honesty, you're not going to be bullied if you smoke. It's so cool.
It's hard to not look cool with a cig.
It's just cool. Do you
And
think
like-
James Dean was ever bullied? No.
If someone starts bullying you while you're smoking a cig,
James Dean was cool.
You've got fire right there. You just burn that motherfucker.
You
Done.
sprayed out on their arm.
What are you gonna do?
So
Yeah.
code sausage for 10% off cigarettes.
Use it at your local 7-Eleven. That's it. All right.
Yep,
Peace,
let's
guys.
do it.
It's been the Sausage Boys. Cheers.
Yow.